Hello, everybody. Nicholas here. First and foremost, happy weekend. Welcome to the Weekly Collective. If you're brand new, this is a great introduction to the channel. What I like to do each and every weekend is set aside some time, talk about what's coming through from channeled messages, and also we take a look at a special topic which you've chosen. But before that, we get to a 7-day forecast and a quick check-in on all signs. So this is a very unique topic today. What you chose was messages from the Archangels. And I'll think about how I want to organize this today. I may separate it out into the different Archangels and see what they want to say. And then I do read the comments. Many of you still like to see things like health, wealth, love, and destiny. So I'll try to figure out a way to incorporate that as well. And maybe we can get the best of both worlds. I do want to start with channeled messages first, and there were quite a few that came through today. So let me just take a look at my notes and we'll go through this. So I think already the guides and angels were coming through. There's a lot, and as you've probably noticed, mediumship is sort of like awakening a bit more with me, and so I'm doing more in the dailies, and that's kind of opened up my ability to see things even more clearly as we do the weeklies. So I hope you enjoy and embrace that new addition to everything that I'm doing, okay? So what came through as I was looking through like dreams and meditations this morning was the theme of firsts. So it came through as like a first day of, like day of school, day of work, a first engagement, if you will. And on this first engagement, what I saw was a couple of things here. First of all, if you're going to exit a relationship, a job, living situation, etc., it's really important to clear things off and do so with like a clean slate. So wrap up any old things and then focus on the new and first impression. What I saw was kind of like arriving late to the meeting or the first gathering, and everybody was already participating, and it made you feel a little bit intimidated. Think back to like the first day of school. This is something most of us can remember, or the first day in a new school, or the first day at a job. There's already predefined cliques and groups of people, and sometimes it's a little overwhelming because you think, do I have a seat at this table? What can I say? What should I do? And the important thing was just to participate. Because I could feel the energy of winging it, but people were receptive to the ideas. They're like, oh, hadn't thought of that. That's a great idea, or let's talk more about that. There wasn't like a rejection on what you had to say. And of course, you want to listen and kind of get a feel for everything, but don't feel like you have to be perfect or you have to perfectly fit in. There's a reason someone has invited a new voice and a new set of eyes and ears to the table. So there you go. All right. Here's the other thing that I got. Ask for like what the goal is. Never assume that you know everything. It's okay to ask questions. Like, what are you trying to accomplish? What have you already done? Especially if you're new to a situation, so that you don't end up suggesting the same old. Say, just to make sure that I'm not saying something that's already been stated, give me like a 3-minute rundown of this. So school, work, or volunteer activities, if you're stepping into something new, get informed, speak up, and they want you there. That's what I got from this, okay? The other thing here is, this is kind of cool too. Even if you're not starting a new job or something of that nature, you may be reintroducing yourself. So this could just be a new chapter. So if you are identifying in a different way, like you're going to do a different job, or there's something about you that's different that you want people to know about, reintroduce yourself. Say, yeah, we've been working together for a while, but I want you to know that this is something that I'm doing. Hey, buddy, don't do that. I'm going to bring Apollo up. Speaking of introducing, he was digging a little bit at the hotel couch. We don't want that. So reintroduce yourself and say, hey, this is what I'm interested in now. This is who I am and what I stand for. The other thing here was, you can write your own description. This is especially true for entrepreneurs. If you don't like what you're doing, you can change. If you are at a place where you're not happy, then talk to them. Say, I'm doing this, but my passion's here. How can we incorporate more of this? Or I'm interested in that. You have more power than you think to change things up a little bit. Literally, they showed me kind of like the step up to the mic. So your voice matters, your vision matters, and part of the like practice makes perfect when it comes to public speaking or just kind of like putting yourself out there. So don't be afraid to do just that. Let's see. This was fascinating. Some of you may be wanting to coach. So I saw someone, and it was more in a sporting metaphor. Like they had a different job on the team, and pardon my ignorance because I'm not aware of all the different jobs, but let's just say they were helping with things behind the scenes, more like operational. But there was someone that really needed some help, and they just stepped in and they're like, you could try this, you could do this. And the sort of athlete responded to that. I'm like, oh, some of you are tired of doing sort of stuff behind the scenes and you want to coach or teach. And it felt really good. And I saw that there was a natural skill or knack for that. But I also saw that the head coach or the head boss or whoever it is that's looking at all of this didn't see that passion or the potential because this was happening on the sidelines. So you're going to have to bubble that up as well. Okay. And some of you especially want to advocate for the underdog. So taking it out of sports, it could be marginalized groups and underprivileged groups and people that are not being protected by rules and regulations and laws. And some of you aren't just coaching, you're like fighting for them. So I got a lot of information here, but this is about changes in career, changes in life, reestablishing yourself, reintroducing yourself, or starting anew. And it feels like it's good energy as we're going into May. So take what you will from that. I think there's something for everyone, and a lot came through. I felt like a secretary, like putting all this in my phone last night. So I get a lot of my stuff through dreams and early morning meditations before this. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much. The Apollo cam isn't working, so I'll just occasionally bring him up to say hello. That was Apollo, my little dog. If you enjoy what you see here, please like, subscribe, and if you want to give back, I'll set our goal up here in just a moment, but you can give back through super stickers, super chat, and memberships. You can find out more about me on my website. And again, this is a collective reading. The next portion that I'm going to be doing is a 7-day forecast. While I'm doing all of that, just a couple of quick updates in my neck of the woods. One update is basically I'm still in a temporary space. You notice it's a different backdrop. My old apartment had a faulty HVAC, a leak, and then mold. And I hope my computer sticks around here for the next week or so because I think it was damaged as well. So there's just been a lot of drama behind the scenes. So I do my best to continue showing up. Be patient if you will. I hope you're enjoying some of the new things like, as I mentioned, I'm starting to do some daily mediumship. So, I like to change and evolve. I've been doing this for over 11 years here on YouTube, and I think it's important to continue to grow and to try new things. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is set up a goal for us. If you like what you see here, you can just give back and say thanks with this. If we reach the goal, maybe I'll just, I'll see what I can do. TBD, maybe a bonus question. Because today we're going to be looking at a lot. And we may not need to go much over, but if I have something that I feel like I want to go deeper into, this is a vote of confidence from you for us to go a little bit further. Okay. Thanks for the support on the dailies. Part of it is just because I'm enjoying it and I'm getting more information. And for those of you that are like, are you done with cards? No, we're going to look at cards right now. But when you're capable of mediumship, what's cool with not the 7-day we're doing, we are doing 7-day. With mediumship, it's basically straight from source. So you don't have to decode. You can just report. And interestingly enough, my first degree was to be like a reporter. I studied journalism. Later I studied like film and new media, but I'm good at reporting. And just like I did at the beginning, I don't have to like perfectly analyze everything because it's already laid out. Why go through a symbol, decode, and then report if you can just report? So that's why the way that I'm kind of getting information is changing or evolving. So I'm like, why not try something new? All right. Close your eyes if you haven't already tuned in. Imagine yourself in a circle of light. And as you're doing that, welcome in your angels. Particularly, let's welcome in Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, and Raphael, because we're going to be working with them today, but also all the ascended masters and guides that you work with. Okay. You are protected, connected. Let's see what they have to say. And that's kind of one of the ways that I see cards. They're a tool. It's a method of divination. It's not the only way or the best way. It's a way. And we can connect in many different forms. So why not do it, right? That's how I'm seeing it anyway. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Let's do 2 more. I'm not going to be able to fit the full card in just because of this smaller table here, but that's okay. All right. So let's start off with the energy of today, this Sunday. And we have the Fool. Perfect day to step into newness. We talked about something new. And it doesn't literally have to be your first day of a job or school or whatever. Many of you are just considering doing something new. This is an odd Fool card, I have to say. This is leaning more into the foolishness of the Fool, kind of one of the under the surface meanings. What I'd like to do is kind of highlight the traditional card, and then we'll talk about maybe why that monkey's putting its hand in a crocodile's mouth. So the important thing, and you'll see it here in this Rider-Waite-Smith version of the card, is to take a look at where you're leaping. So this could be a few inches, or it could be much, much deeper, a few kilometers or something. So we want to make sure that you know what kind of leap of faith you're making here. So today is also a great day to do some research and think, well, if I am going to do this, how would this happen? What would it involve? An informed fool, kind of like a sophomore, because the word sophomore, it's like wise fool. It's not your first time around the block, right? So we're going to mix wisdom with that newness and listen to anything around you, your intuition, a friend, a cute little dog that's saying, hey, wait a second, slow down. Let's make sure that we're looking at this from every single angle. Duly noted. Okay, the other thing with the Fool is one step at a time and pack lightly. The important thing there with that knapsack is as you enter into something new, you don't have to bring in a lot of drama, trauma, fear, or anxiety. Everything has its space and place. And really, as we're looking at this, the thing you want to avoid is jumping in head first or taking an uncalculated, if you will, risk. Make sure that you've weighed out the options, that you know what you're getting into, and you're comfortable with the trade-offs. And I think as long as you do this, then it's an empowered choice, and that can be exciting, and that's the purpose for today. Okay, let's go into the energy here of Monday. Speak up. But listen first. So the King of Swords in the reverse position has a tendency sometimes to speak without thinking or to speak over someone or not to listen before doing something. So we want to make sure that you're listening, observing, and analyzing and sitting with something. Whenever I write a letter, especially an important letter or something that has legal connotations, I will draft it. I will revisit it. I might have a lawyer look at it, a friend, have your editing software proof it, like 4, 5, 6 passes to make sure the tone is right, the words are correct, the flow is okay, and nothing is missing. This is a day for all of that. Weigh your words, pick your moment, adjust your tone, and listen. And if you do that, you can be effective. The King of Swords is still the best in the suit of swords when it comes to communication, but the thing that can tip him off of his ability to be amazing is not listening, not watching, or speaking before thinking. So use your mind, not just your voice when you're talking. This is also a card of action. So sometimes when the King of Swords is reversed, either he's taking a step backward, or there's some stagnation, or there's reluctance to take the necessary step. Or worse, and we won't do this because we're watching today, talking the talk but not walking the walk. You have to do what you say and say what you do, and make sure that the two are in harmony. If not, it's going to catch up with you and it's not going to help, okay? You may also find that you need to revisit or revise contracts in this period of time. That's fine. That's your prerogative to do if you like to. All right. We have some interesting energy coming through for Tuesday. Seven of Cups. So I like the Seven of Cups because it's dreaming. It's kind of like entertaining all sorts of different possibilities. But as you can see with that snake that's kind of wrapping itself around the person and the cups, this can also be this. Well, what about that? What is this? Like all the scenarios that sort of like then make you feel completely overwhelmed, and we don't want that to happen. So explore the options, but then pause and pick the one that feels like it resonates most, like it's either the most interesting or the most important. Box in your time a little bit. I found that brainstorming is good, but back when I used to, I remember school and a traditional job, you would say, we're going to take 30 minutes to break out and look at this. You wouldn't say we're going to take 30 hours. There comes a point where you exhaust yourself and you get confused by the options. 3 or 4 max. Less is better. 2 or 3 options will help you yield a better result. That's why we say get a second opinion, not a 30-second opinion. You have to kind of like 2 or 3 and you'll be good. Otherwise, actually around the point that you get 6 or 7, I've Googled this before, that's when the mind gets confused. Mental clarity may be a little bit difficult on Tuesday. So whether you're confused or your audience or your friend or your mate is confused, make sure that you say, did that make sense? It's an easy little follow-up. Do you have any questions? What do you think? There's like 3 different ways to engage someone in front of you. Even like, do you agree or do you have any suggestions? Depends how much feedback you want. It is a good day for brainstorming and doing blue sky stuff. We talked a little bit about that in some of the mediumship messages this week. All right, around the middle of the week, we have a couple challenges. And again, it's so interesting how listening is coming through loud and clear this week, okay? Hierophant, but the Hierophant is reversed. The owl person in this deck is not listening. This could be a gatekeeper in your life. So God, I got the word superintendent, but like it could be either, maybe there is, maybe you're going through some bureaucratic loop. So you're trying to get like a document signed, and it could be going through courts, state or province sort of like levels where you have to get like stamps on it, like rubber stamp stuff. And sometimes that's just a matter of time and patience, or knowing the right person or pulling the right string. But it feels like something's lost right now, and you might have to find a way to get around the person. So because of my time in corporate structures, one thing that I learned is the most important person in almost any office is the administrative assistant, because they know how to get to that person. In fact, one of my first and best jobs came because I sent a general email to a general inbox, and the assistant saw it. And they got it directly to the VP, and it wasn't an advertised position, but it was an assistant that got me that position. And forever afterwards, I always made sure that the best person, I treated the assistant better than everybody, because they do the hardest work, and they have to deal with the most people, and they also have the most power. So work with the assistants, work with the lieutenant people. Like I was getting the other people, not the main person. So another vice president, not the president, like someone else in the ranks can maybe get your message through. This is also, besides the structure and hierarchy, it's like organizations, like physical organizations, and then being organized. So in your own life, you might be either too rigid or not organized enough. Whatever your sort of tendency is, make sure that you're course correcting from that, okay? And listen, there might also be some advice coming through. So interestingly enough, these are always, in a traditional deck, disciples or assistants or lieutenants. And so there might be someone around you that has better insight, even if they don't have the same rank. Age and wisdom are not mutually inclusive. You can be young and wise and old and foolish. So, and you can be experienced and still learn something from someone new. So we want to open our eyes and ears to all of the inputs coming through, and sometimes shake up the system a little bit, okay? Okay. And yeah, I use the word assistant, even like executive secretary was maybe the old word for it, but I like assistant because they do so much, and they don't get enough, appreciation for the work that they do. Okay, Now let's take a look at, what are we on, Thursday? Thursday. Choices and maybe being pulled in too many directions. I like that we see this person, it's almost like a deity. We're missing like a third arm on each side, but they're being pulled between two different timelines. This is a much more elevated view of the Two of Pentacles. Am I in or am I out? Or I'm spending time here, but I want to be here. I actually feel like it's a mental sort of like pull between two different places. It can be resources, but the way that the card is illustrated and where my mind is going is you're pulled between two different realities. So it's time to decide, are you in or are you out? And I did see this in the dreams. Like I saw two different spaces, like one old school, one new school, or one old office, one new. And I wasn't clear if you were overlapping between the two or if you weren't sure. Some of you are just trying to decide, do I want to transfer? Do I want to make the move? It feels like Thursday may not be the decision-making day, but it's the exploration day. And you'll get much clearer after you do your exploration. Traditional reading of this is be conservative in your time and energy management. Better to say no than to say yes and not be able to come through on something. Conservative and really accountable answers are going to be better. I can commit to this. We'll probably have to do that tomorrow. If you want me to do it now, I need you to take this off my plate. That's it. It's straightforward. I didn't always have that confidence when I was younger, but like as I'm older, I just know there's not as much that I can push myself. And even a given day, I'm like, well, I can't do that today. And it's not because I don't want to, or there's legitimately energetic limits that you have as you age. And you're like, I want to make sure that I don't burn myself out, get sick, get stressed, etc. You have to honor that. So say no, and then make a decision. Get the clarity that you need to make a decision with respect to like the next big step in your life, okay? Friday's an interesting day. So many different ways we can read the Five of Cups. You could finally be getting over that bridge, the bridge over troubled water. This is a day that you might finally be saying, all right, I didn't like what I just went through, but look at where it took me. Look at who I met. And you understand the blessings. I was talking to some neighbors about this whole situation that I'm in, and one of them mentioned, well, we're glad you stayed an extra bit of time because you got to meet all of us, and we got to meet you and got to know you. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably a silver lining. Also, one thing that I'm learning in this whole situation is to fight for what's going on. So I'm using my voice, and I really want to release karma because this isn't the first time it's happened. So this time around, I thought, what can I do to make sure that I release it? And I'm like, well, I have to stand up and hold people to account because there were reasons this happened. So you could be at that pivotal point where you're like, I don't like where karma or energy brought me, but I'm learning from it. Look at my daily for today. I mentioned that there is no failure, just experiences, and some experiences repeat, like you repeat a grade or a class if you fail it. But I don't believe in failure either. I believe that it's a lesson that's unlearned. So choose to learn the lesson and then release it. This can also be mourning. Literally, we can see the person mourning a loss. But on the other side is friendship, love, and opportunity. There's no limit or appropriate time for like grief and grieving. It comes back sometimes in your life at the weirdest moments, but it usually doesn't stay as long. So you may just also be dealing with on Friday something that triggers an old memory. But look at yourself now, look at how far you've come, and know that it comes through as a contextual reminder of your strength. And it will pass, and you can lean on the support of others. The answer's in the card, Two of Cups. In the Five of Cups, it's hidden. So talk to someone that you love, that you connect with. I believe this card was reversed. So with the reversal of the Five of Cups, it's also not giving too much weight to could've, would've, should've. Very much in the energy of the daily that I had for today. Lessons are lessons. If you learn them, you pass. If you don't, you repeat them. There's no fail. Life isn't even pass, fail. It's pass, pass. And you'll keep getting the lesson until you pass. Look at it that way. It's liberating. And it's a different approach. This isn't school. You don't get a grade. Okay. The world. Okay, whatever you're working on, by the time Saturday comes around, resolution. So, and You can even see one of the corners is the Archangels here. But things are going to start to come into focus this week. It will not be a fruitless endeavor. You may have some days that are better, some days that are more challenging, but ultimately we see a sort of breakthrough point coming through on Saturday. Even if you're not stepping into it, you at least know what you're going to be doing. So there's a decisive energy towards the end of this week, okay? This card is, well, definitely the most auspicious in the major arcana because it represents the culmination of the journey of the Fool. You've been through every phase and stage, and you've learned everything. It's graduation, if you will. So when the world energy comes through, here's some things that you can focus on Saturday. This is a great card for travel, for completing or starting something. It's a bookend card. Announcing, delivering, distributing, or connecting with others. It's big. And you want to go bigger than you think. 2 days ago, I think I did an all this or greater kind of energy. This is the or greater. Because the universe has bigger, better plans than you could even imagine. And when you think, even now, some of you are saying, please, Nicholas. I'm like, yes, please. Please, universe. Don't please me. Say, yes, please, universe. Show me more because I'm ready for more than I've got. If you deny it, it won't come. If you invite it, it just might. So invite the or better on Saturday. All of this or better, all of this or greater than I imagined for my highest good with the least amount of resistance, etc., etc. Okay, Sunday. A week from today, we have the Five of Wands in reverse. It's rising above conflict and leaning instead into collaboration and cooperation. There may be people in your life that just aren't worth the energy. And I'm not saying that dismissively, it's observational. Like if you're consistently working hard, but you're just exhausted, it's probably not the best use of your time and energy. Five of Wands, Five of Swords. They're siblings in tarot. Five of Swords, someone that won't listen or likes to talk back. Five of Wands, someone that just doesn't care. They're too stubborn and they're trying to get their own way. They're pushier. So like with both of them, you have to step back and let the person level up a little bit and also just allow yourself to ask yourself why you're putting energy into something like that. No judgment to the person, but there's probably a better use of your time and energy, okay? And this is also for some of you that want to coach, a coaching opportunity, helping people see how to work together better. Because I saw the underdog or the outsider, and I saw you going to them. And there might be a group that just isn't open. They're too closed. They're cliquish. And you're going to break the clique up a little bit if you're in a leadership or coaching position. Or if you're just working one-on-one with someone, you may be helping them break free from some of that. Okay? So we'll look at the high points and then the challenges for this week. And then we'll go into the elements. And I probably will just use the same deck of cards because I'm liking it. Okay, so I think that today is powerful. I got so much energy around the newness and deciding how and where you want to step into something new. That still resonates with me. I think that the best point of the week is probably next Saturday, this upcoming Saturday. Everything else is pretty manageable. I think you want to be cautious. It's on like the every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. These odd days are when things come into a challenging. The even days are better. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, amazing. It's every other day where you're going to recalibrate. So just don't let yourself get pulled, too much in one direction. Be clear on what you want. Say yes or no accordingly. Emotions are important and necessary, but don't get pulled in by them. All right? So we're now going to move onward to a quick check-in on the elements. So this is going to help us get a quick pulse on everything. By the way, speaking of the changes with the daily, I'm going to change the monthlies as well. Fewer cards, fewer minutes, more messages, more channeled information, but still cards. So changes are good, and I'm feeling inspired to do more of them. Let's see. My Apollo cam is working, but I'm going to wait until I get through this now to bring that up. So fire, earth, air, and water. Let's see what's going on with you right now. Okay. And yes, I saw someone in the comments, my neighbors have thanked me because this is a systemic issue. and I brought their attention to it. So maybe I was here to help others and inspire them because I'm outspoken now. Here's an interesting thing before we get into the elements. Being spiritual doesn't mean that you're a pushover. You can be spiritual and assertive and communicative and strong. And so think of the strength card. Look at all the different strong cards in tarot. Queen and King of Swords, strength, justice. They are, and the Chariot, they all fight for what they want. So we have to sometimes embody those different characteristics of spirituality. Strength, accountability, communication, and resilience are among them. And so you don't always have to be the King or Queen of Cups, even though they're amazing. Sometimes you have to step into your power. Okay. Fire, earth, air, water. Again, we're looking at all the elements. We'll start off with fire signs. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. You're a little bit in your headspace, but you're really close to finishing something. Love this Ten of Wands. Typically, the Ten of Wands shows somebody carrying a heavy load of wands, like, you know, basically it's like lumber, and they're trying to climb up a hill or get to the finish line. You've got this, but you need to take a moment to recalibrate. It feels a little intense. I'm getting more mentally than physically. I'll pull the traditional card while we're talking, but what you can do to release the mental stress is meditation, exercise, adequate sleep. We all need it. This week, because I've been going through so much, I needed an extra hour or so per night of sleep, and I gave it to myself. I'm like, you know, I could get more done, but at what cost would this be? I need to take care of myself. So take care of yourselves. Here's your traditional card. You can see the person's burned out. They will finish, but they may finish more quickly if they don't strain themselves mentally or physically or emotionally. The strain can come from multiple places. Even though this is auspicious, it means that you're going to complete what you set out to complete. It's also an exhausting card. And when it's reversed, it's saying drop some of those wands, delegate. And in this particular situation, let go of some of what you're hanging on to. It almost looks like a gold medal there, right at the center. And there could be so much energy around, I need to do this perfectly and successfully and completely, that you don't realize we're just all like works in progress. One thing that I'm also doing with mediumship messages is I try to sit down and just get it out, and then I cut it down. I try not to do multiple drafts. It's something new for me. Unless there's some sort of, I'm like, no, I got to add that in. So we don't need to be perfect. We just need to be present and to do what we need to do. So you might be overthinking things a little bit. For the creatives out there, this is especially true. Save your drafts. Sometimes the first draft is the best. It's closest to source, and it's the reverse of like writing a letter. I'm talking about poetry, books, painting, architecture. Like if you're trying to come up with an idea, the first thing on the blackboard or the whiteboard is the best usually. And then we can develop it, but never lose it. Take a picture of it. You can go back and pull some of that original inspiration. So think of singers. Their demos are sometimes better than the original or contain something interesting. Again, to use an example that now it's kind of played out, but the Pink Pantheress duet and remix with Zara, she pulled from her original. She's a producer on most of her songs, which is cool. And so she's like, oh, let's use the demo beat from the original, and it will give it. And then I'm going to change up so that Zara's singing off like on a different beat. I think this will be something unique. She went back to the original. And if you listen to some of the demos from singers that give their songs to someone else, another great singer whose name is escaping me right now, Sia, she does a lot of songs for like Rihanna and other people she does more songs than you imagine, but sometimes her demo version, I'm like, you should have released that. I can totally hear you singing it. And actually, case in point, I think she did a duet with like David Guetta or something, and he used her demo. And it was supposed to go to another person, but it was like perfect on the demo. Celine Dion did one take for the theme to Titanic. It was the demo version used. Sometimes the demo is the final. I want to say Madonna did a single take on The soundtrack one, it's the really slow ballad, It'll Come to Me, Live to Tell. So it's amazing that you can get it right on the first draft. I used all the musical examples, old and new, to kind of give you some inspiration. I think you're closer to the finish line than you think, okay? Hope you enjoyed my journey down music, past and present. Okay, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, you've got it. Take a break, clear your head a little bit, and let's move on. Going from fire to earth. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Taurus, you should be having some good stuff coming through. We have Taurus season around the corner. Three of Wands, exactly. So it doesn't matter which earth sign you are right now. Three of Wands shows that got the whole world in your hands, as we see here, but also it's happening. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, it's here. It's closer than you think. And all it requires is looking in a different direction. So if you don't see it here, look here, or look within. This is one of the cards in tarot. If someone's saying, when will it happen? I'm like, it's happening now. Some of it's already happening. It's happening now. It's still going to be happening over the next few days, but there's immediacy to it. It's a good time to travel. It's a great time to initiate things, and it's doing energy. So the Two of Wands is dreaming. The Ace of Wands is like initiation and getting that sort of download. Now we're putting it out into the world. So travel, collaborate, communicate, cooperate, meet things halfway, meet them at the shore. Go ahead and also reach for things that you want. Ask and you shall receive with the Three of Wands. Sometimes you just have to communicate what it is that you're looking for. It's a great week, actually, for Earth. The only thing that I would say is make sure that you are setting an early alarm so that you can get up in the morning and really get clear on what you want. Because this card also reminds me like the early bird gets the worm. So I mentioned that some of you might be going late to a meeting. Don't be late this week. Be the first. Be the first seated, or be the first to speak up, or just be ahead of things, like initiate it. I use that example of getting a job because I reached out before it was advertised. It's harder to do that nowadays. That was a long time ago, but that was like 2002. But there's still an ability sometimes to be the first person, and that can get you some bonus or some credit, okay? Good stuff this week for Earth. Let's see what's going on with Air. Air, you're holding on to the past just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. But you're protecting yourself, and I get it. Totally get it. You're asking yourselves this week, is it safe for me to try this? What if, okay, so I want you to change your what if frequency. Some of you are saying, what if I let go of this and nothing comes in, or nothing better comes in? Well, okay, possible, not probable. What if you release something that doesn't serve your highest good, and you create, not just hold, but you create space that ensures that something better can come through? Because this isn't good enough. And it's not me being judgmental or needy. The Four of Pentacles isn't enough. 5, still not there. 6, yes, we're getting there. So what we have to do in the Four of Pentacles is to heal our heart. Listen to the daily today. That's what I talked about. I've been talking about it this week. All the mediumship messages, you can revisit them. Even though they're for a day, they still permeate this message here. So heal the inner child. Trust in yourself and your own ability to be strong. And hold space for, create space. Let's change our dialect. Create space for someone or something greater. And that is going to help you manifest. Say no if someone takes more than they gives. I sound like a Smeagol. If they take more than they give consistently. This is sometimes the overachiever. This is sometimes the person that wants to give until it hurts, but you can't. Literally there comes a point where you can't give anymore, okay? And this is the devil you know. So in the case of the devil you know, we hold on to something because it's safe, it's predictable, it's here. It's still the devil. Never, the devil you know is never good enough. So say no thank you, no way, and look for something greater. This is a great week to research, to connect with a lawyer if you need help or representation to get more, to hold up a mirror to somebody and say, this is what you just said. I don't think you mean that. This is how it sounds. and show tangible facts. This is not right. This is not what we agreed to. This isn't enough. Try again. And then hand it back to them and wait. So negotiation, in other words, you can negotiate. You have room, and it may just be 1 or 2 steps more, 1 or 2 exchanges more, or 10 or 20% more, but it's worth it. Let's get you to the 6 of Pentacles this week, okay? Heal the heart, value yourself, negotiate for more, lean on support when you need it, and you'll be thriving, okay? Astrologically, rather, I know that Libra's having a hard week too, so just pace yourself, okay? There's a lot going on for everybody, but I can see the air signs in general, all 3, might need to take care of themselves. If you know someone in your life that's an air sign, give them some support if you can. All right, water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Take care of yourself. Empress in reverse is exactly that. It's like the universal mother, but instead of helping everybody, hugging everybody, loving everybody, they're going to put a little of that energy into themselves and into their life. This is also managing your life too. So rather than trying to fix everyone, you do you. You fix yourself right now. Pay attention to your body, your finances, your house, your home, everything around you. If there's someone in your life that is demanding, this is a little bit overwhelming. This can be someone who it is nearly impossible to make happy. And we have to sometimes just learn that you can't please someone like that, or they're controlling. They come in, swoop in, and ask the most ridiculous questions, or they micromanage. And that's because they're afraid to see your strength or growth. Surprise them with your resilience and your independence. Say, I'm good. Are you good? Because I'm good. Push it right back, or just don't engage. If you aren't being sort of like fully utilized, leave the door open. Like if you are an advisor, a mentor, or a coach, because I saw some of that, the door is always open, but you can't make a decision for someone else. You can invite them to consider an option. You can ask them how their current option is working out and if they'd like advice, but if they don't want it, so be it. So if someone comes to you with a problem, ask them, how can I help? What do you need from me? How can I be of assistance? If they say, I just need to vent, then just sit back and you have nothing to do. Say, okay, I'm here to listen. You don't even offer any advice. If later they say, well, does that sound good? Just say, what do you want to hear? Do you want my constructive advice, or you just want me to say, I hope it works out? Like I can give you either. Keep asking until they say, all right, just tell me what you think. Then you can. Because they have to be ready for it. And if they're not, then it comes across as pushy and it creates friction. You can also advise someone in your life of the same. Just say, in this moment, I'm not looking for the feedback. I'm just looking for a friend. I'm just looking for support. Okay. Easier to understand. Nobody gets upset. And it's easier on both of you as well. So there we go. Final things, by the way, you might be holding on to something too long because this can represent birthing and releasing something. The world energy in particular on Saturday is saying, let it go. Okay? Good card overall, but the energy's being kind of like pointed in the wrong direction. Deep breath, everybody. Now we're going to get into an exciting portion. Let me see if I can get the camera pointed down while I'm doing this. While I'm getting the Apollo cam set up, if you want to give back in the way of some support, you can do it for free by simply liking and subscribing. It costs nothing. It helps the channel quite a bit. You can also give back with you can join me on social media, and you can help us meet our target today by doing a super sticker or becoming a member. And now it's not showing up. We're not worried about this right now. For whatever reason, because of my new setup here in this hotel, I can't always get Apollo's camera to work out. And that's okay, because we have a lot to focus on today. All right. We're going into the special topic for today. So we have 4 archangels that I wanted. There's a lot of different angels that we could deal with. And I'm like, let's get specific so that the messages are clearer. And so we're going to be working with, and I want to look at the order so that I start with the first one since we called it in a very specific way. So we'll start off with Michael. Michael is really good, Archangel Michael to be specific. Archangel Michael is great for helping us regain our power and fight. If you think of archetypal illustrations of Michael, he's often illustrated with a sword, defeating Satan, or like, so in other words, he can overcome the biggest obstacle. So think right now as I select, I'm going to go grab an oracle deck too, but think of your biggest obstacle in your life and what you need help with. While you do that, I'm going to go select a couple of decks because my space is more limited here. So let me do that and then we'll continue. Okay. Let's get started here. All right, so what I want to look at is the history of your conflict. Don't put it in chat just yet. Let me go ahead and pull the cards. I'm going to take a drink before I do that. All right, in this moment, we welcome in Archangel Michael to help us overcome obstacles, to fight for what's right, to find our inner strength, and whatever else this particular Archangel wants to bring forth. With love and gratitude, we welcome the messages. Thank you. Always use love and gratitude with the Archangels. It helps. They're happy to be here, but we always have to say thank you. And they don't really come forth unless we ask. So please, Archangel Michael, come through. And usually his messages are the most blunt, maybe next to Uriel. Okay, what are we looking at? Okay. Show me a little bit around future state. Don't worry about the extended. I will do it at the end. We're not going to do like a regular reading, obviously, because we're working with this. But I will go through the 4 archangels, and we're going to do whatever needs to come through in those. It's like a session. We're having sessions with the archangels. Then I will pull a single card for each: health, wealth, love, and destiny, so you can get it all, because I saw some comments on that. So there you go. And if you want, if we meet the goal, maybe I'll break down one of those a little bit deeper. So that's maybe the extra, because there's like all these subcategories. So probably like the wealth one is the one most people want broken down. So that might be the bonus. Okay, let's get back to work here. I'm going to zoom in so we can see these cards better, because we're not going to have as many on the table. All right, so one thing that's really coming through is like some of you are having a hard time being respected. So this is ideation, like your thoughts and what you stand for. Ace of Wands, it's coming through as like, this is who I am, this is what I'm passionate about, these are my ideas. So the Empress can literally be parents or bosses or authority figures in your life disagreeing and possibly even saying that it's not good enough, that you're not good enough. They're casting literally judgment on you. So clearing the karma, which is something that has come through this week, and something that I spoke about today, is about standing up. This almost feels to me like it's the scales from justice. So we have a hidden card here, and it's saying in order to get things cleared, you may have to fight. Because justice, I'll pull the justice card just for reference. She carries a sword. That sword isn't there for decoration. She's going to fight and cut through some of the red tape and say, you know what? No, we're not going to do this. So maybe you will be working with a lawyer, some of you. Maybe some of you are just going to show that this isn't fair, that you don't get to say that or do that anymore. So Archangel Michael is saying that there are multiple types of swords. Yes, there's the physical sword, but there's also the sword of justice, of communication, because she also represents that. And so she's saying, I'm going to use my words. I'm going to use the law if necessary. I'm going to cut through things that don't make sense anymore. We're going to set this right. I no longer am going to accept less. This could be hitting some of the air signs since we got the devil, So one of the ways to do it is to work with somebody. So justice fights. Justice may put down her scales and get out there on the front lines and fight. If I had to have, let's say I was casting my warriors from the major arcana, strength would be there, front and center. Justice would be there, and the chariot. They would probably be working the chariot. And let's see what else I would maybe want. I mean, the world is a great card too, but like I would choose the divine feminine cards, actually, believe it or not, because the emperor, the empress would be a great choice too. We need power, we need authority, but we need people that are willing to take up the sword and say, let's stop this. So don't be afraid to stand up for yourself and get the balance you deserve. Set the balance right. Okay, Empress in reverse. This is also you believing in yourself. In order for the Judgment card to be flipped in the upright position, you have to believe in yourself. And there's something amazing that happens when you know that you deserve something and you just say it. Because I have seen this happen in the past few weeks in my own situation, which I mentioned. All I had to say is, that isn't correct. In fact, it's wrong. And if we don't do this, it's going to be worse. And this is why. And this is what you're going to do. And when you say things like this, not asking, not like, and then sometimes even citing, and this is the support for that, people will just need to go to the bathroom probably because they're not used. They're like, wait a second, what? Sometimes you just have to pull it out, facts, information, and trust in yourself. So Michael is encouraging you to get your ducks in a row. And then if you can't do it, that's okay. But get someone else to advocate on your behalf and cut through all of the nonsense, right? Judgment. Okay, this is fascinating. It can be very much sort of like face value. I don't have the black and white deck handy, but it's okay. We'll just talk about this one. So typically, the souls rise up from the dead. And this represents the ability to overcome a block, a setback, a failure, or something where you stagnated. Because it's just saying, and that was totally the energy of today, was rebirth. So here we see like a little child stepping in the spotlight. That's the newer, younger version of you. Rebirth, reincarnation. So whatever judgment was cast on you, whatever block was placed before you, it's not going to matter. It may not matter today, tomorrow, or next week. Very soon you're going to see that that was helping you. That was helping you get to something higher. Also, the only one that has any business judging you is you. If someone else doesn't agree with or understand or like you, that's really more on them than it is on you. And so in this situation, you're going to simply say, you know what? I'm not going to put too much of a focus on all of that external stuff. Instead, I'm going to focus on what I can control and know that if I'm doing things right, typically people aren't going to always agree, right? So let it go. I've mentioned this before in my own reflections of the liminal space between lifetimes. I've seen soul review before, and I've seen then the point before lives. So right after you die and you go into soul review, and then after you've spent some time in spirit doing work and before you reincarnate, you are usually with guides and you judge and plan your past life and your next life. You. Because why? We are a connection to source. We call that many words, including God, but source isn't up there in a sort of throne judging you. We are actually extensions of the divine. So we can do it for ourselves. So we sit there with guides who help us see it from all angles and support us so we don't feel overwhelmed. They too are parts of the divine doing different functions, just like the Archangels. And they're saying, okay, look at it from this perspective. And then your soul grows and you say, oh, I get it. I get it. And so karmically, the thing that Michael really, really wants you to do right now is to not put too much weight in someone else's opinion. It could be your mother, father, friend, lover. It could be your own child, sibling, anybody that you love and care about. They care about you, but there's an aspect here of control, jealousy, or just judgment without empathy and understanding. They haven't walked a mile in your shoes. So clear it. They don't know it. They don't get it. Fight for yourself. You deserve to be happy. You may need to create space and distance from this person, place, or thing. And more importantly, what are you doing with this passion, this idea? Step into it. It has value. It has merit. Okay? Like I said, Michael tends to be intense, but in the best way. Thank you, Michael. All right. What's coming through next for us? Challenge. Let's look at a blessing and a block from Michael. What's the blessing? What's the block? Okay. How do we embrace either or both of these? And by the way, if you have a question for the archangels, you can kind of put it in chat, and I'll see if there's something that if I've missed it. Okay. Let's put this as a bridge between the two of them, actually. All right, well, that's nice. All right, so the blessing. You are connected to Source here with the Magician. I like that we see all of the cards going through the energy of the Magician. The sort of difficult thing with Magician energy is discernment, not getting distracted, staying focused, having faith. Because if anything, there's overstimulation with the Magician. All four elements, energy surging through, possibilities. So the Magician has to learn to say, I choose that. So decide what it is that you want to choose and focus on. And then it's almost like he's on a Vimana or a Wheel of Fortune. Things will start to spin in the right direction once you do that. This time around, but really always, but especially this time around, you are protected by Source. Okay? So as long as you trust yourself. So the Magician is powerful as long as he listens to his instincts, stays focused, and moves forward. But you can call in this particular archangel for exactly this. Archangel Michael carries the sword to protect us, so lean on it if you need it. Oh, I don't think I brought it. I have a deck of archangels, but it's in my apartment, so it's all right. We're using other decks right now, which are equally as good. The block, burnout, fear of failure, an argument, 10 of Swords. But what I like about this one is there's a choice to rise above. It is a choice that you have to make and embrace. So here you can either go up or down. Let's choose up. With the card in reverse, there might be some challenges coming through that make you believe that you deserve to struggle, or I have a great friend that's a shaman who constantly reminds me, his name is Michael, by the way. Michael will remind me constantly that the whole idea of no pain, no gain, or like we have to work until we're exhausted, that sort of 1980s level of, work. It's very unnecessary in this millennia, in this century, in this period of time, but we still carry with us that workaholic energy. It has limits, so let it go. You don't have to be a martyr. You don't have to burn out. You don't have to suffer to ascend. Pain is a teacher, not the only one. Sickness is a teacher, definitely not the best one. Joy, balance, happiness, these are also teachers. Why don't we invite them to the table? Because I think we're all kind of done with this. But it's there if you want to experience it. Let's not experience it. Don't take the bait when it comes to an argument either. Walk the other way. I might use this deck next for the next archangel. The Lightseer's deck has a beautiful 10 of Swords that just shows someone saying, I'm done with that. And I think that's a good message. Okay, just so we can get on to the next archangel, let's see if there's any closing words from Michael with respect to this. So one thing that I see, just a question in real time, is how do you unprogram things? Think about like cleaning up your phone or computer. You delete one thing at a time. You don't delete the whole phone. You don't delete the whole computer. You don't need to throw out the baby with the bathwater, right? So you think to yourself, of all the things that I'm focusing on, which is obviously not good right now? Let's start with that. Because we don't want a 7 of Cups moment or the math meme moment where it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. So that is already kind of making it harder than it needs to be. You say, this month, I'm going to focus on releasing this habit or this thought. Give yourself 30 days. Don't, or more if you need to. Like, it takes time. I've been on a wellness journey. I've been doing it for like, I don't know, whenever my blood pressure is normal now, which is great. I'm working out every day. I'm meditating more, which is probably why the mediumship is coming through. I'm feeling better, looking better, but it's been like multiple months. If you want to make changes in your body, it takes like sometimes months or years to completely reprogram it. So the same thing is true for whether it's codependencies, whether it's self-defeatist thoughts, self-confidence. You work it out like a muscle and you reprogram it like a computer. You got to take little pieces of the code and debug it. You don't just do the whole thing all at once. That's my advice. Bite-sized things. So it's a good question. So let's look at what you can focus on first this month to improve or fight, okay? But it's worth it, by the way, for those of you that hear, like, and I see years, but every day you feel better and one day someone says, what are you doing? You have a glow or you look better, you seem better. And it's like, listen, friend, I've been working out mind, body, and spirit. So it's about the journey, not the destination. All right, what do you want to focus on this month? Michael, show the collective what everybody can best deal with thematically. Thank you, Michael, as well. And yeah, like Enzo said, just do it. Okay, we have world energy here, which tells me you're going to be able to do it. 9 of Wands, very interesting card. Don't give up. It's a card of persistence. This is an odd illustration for it, so I'm going to pull the traditional. What I do like about this, though, is this person just keeps going down the path. There may be storms, there may be other things along the way, but nothing stops them. So what you want to really focus on here is perseverance, persistence, and what I do, I've said this before, I think it was a couple months ago, because I've been through, it feels like the last 4 years for me have been pretty challenging, to be honest. But what I do is I just get up every morning and I just treat it like a new day. And some days are amazing. And even when I'm going through really challenging situations, like this week, I surprised myself in my voice, like that I was able to speak up and say what needed to be said. And I felt like I'd made a really big shift. Like, oh, that's what some of this has been about. So I just keep waking up because every day is different. And the odds are in your favor that one of those days is going to be amazing. Some aren't, some are. That's how life is. So you just keep waking up and you just keep resetting. Think of the Fool. It's a 0. You clear it. And if you want to have fun with manifestation, you set into the expectation of today. At the very least, it's going to be better than yesterday and possibly surpass my expectations altogether. Today could be the best day ever. This afternoon could be amazing. Who knows? But if I carry with me the weight of all the stuff that isn't working, then it's going to be hard to connect, right? Traditional 9 of Wands. The bandage is around the mind. It's around the head. Some of you need to do some things to release the stress in your head. Something just for fun, specifically for fun. Watching a movie, reading a book, taking a hike, having dinner with a friend, spending time with your dog, whatever it is for you that constitutes fun, that's really what you want to be focusing on in this moment in time. Again, it will be different for each of you, so create some of that space in your life. Okay, the next message here is, my high vibes heal the world. They also heal your world. I mentioned coaching. Some of you are ready to do that. I had to pull it back and you can see this person's actually hugging the world. I love the rainbow around the world. I love rainbows in general. So the reason I love rainbows so much is they represent the whole spectrum of light, all the possibilities. They represent all 7 chakras. Anybody that's afraid of a rainbow has bigger issues too. Because it just represents everything. So this is a time for you to heal yourself, heal your world, possibly give back, coach, and teach, and heal the world at large. the advocacy is also coming through. Some of you want to share and help and fight for others. This is the time to do that. Also, the world needs some love right now. And the best way that you can get through a situation could also be by leading with love and compassion. Okay? Okay. So let me look at the next angel that we invited in. So Gabriel's next. That's one of my favorites because it's communication. Let me choose a different deck for this. But yeah, I'm serious about the rainbows. All the people that are like, I don't want to see rainbows and all. I'm like, come on, guys. It's literally one of the most beautiful symbols in nature. Okay. Thank you, Archangel Michael. We'll call you back in later if we need to, but we're going to now welcome in Archangel Gabriel with love and light. Please bring forth the messages around communication, around also just like anything that needs to come through in mediumship, because Gabriel represents a lot of different things. In many illustrations and in many sort of religious texts, Gabriel is the voice of the divine, right? Gabriel also represents our own throat chakra and can just be messages from spirit. So we may, in this section, also look at messages from the departed. I was thinking, should I include Azrael in there? I was like, no, because every single archangel can also be an angel of death. And this is the one that I want to connect to souls that have departed. Since I mentioned that, I think we're going to start first on that. So Gabriel can connect us through mediumship to the souls that have departed. Is there something that our ancestors need and want us to know? We're going to just start vaguely and like a deep umbrella first. This can be anybody from any lineage. What do your familial ancestors? Then we'll look specifically at maybe a family member that has crossed or passed. Okay. Thank you again, Gabriel. Help us connect to not generic, but like the entirety of ancestral energy. What is the big message since we're doing a collective reading? I mean, Gabriel is right there in the same energy of Michael saying, fight for what's right, folks. Fight for your rights. And appropriately enough, we are looking at, wow, this is powerful. We're going to start with this. Yes, yes, yes. So when I was in the liminal space, I did a podcast about a year ago. I hope to do one again once everything's settled here. I try to do one a year because it's a lot of money to do a podcast and to edit it properly. And I only really want to connect with someone that I want to talk to. So in my bandwidth right now, I have enough like usually for one per year. So we'll be thinking about next guests. But I talked to Matthias last year, and one of the things that we talked about was the liminal space before lifetimes. So he mentioned a triangulation energy. I had seen 2 to 3 guides as well. And one of the things that I remember planning was like all the aspects of this lifetime. I saw myself trying on personas like I was in a dressing room, basically, or changing room. And I tried on what I would look like in different bodies. I thought, what language, what religion, what familial, what parents do I want to have, and what geography. But the relationship thing is key here because we meet certain people so that we can release karma, like Michael was telling us to do, so that we can learn things about ourselves, so that we can heal and make amends and atone for past karmic debt. And so relationships are assignments. When the assignment is done, then you get to just hang out. So the sooner you recognize the assignment, the easier and clearer the energy can be between you and a loved one, particularly if they're a family member. I have a better relationship with particularly my father now that he's been in spirit for like eons. He passed away in 2013. I don't think about him that much anymore. I don't talk about him that much anymore because it's really clear and clean. I understand him better. I love him. I forgive him. Flaws and all. I'm like, he did the best he could. It took a long time to get there because it was complicated. But I have a better relationship now that he's in spirit. And that's where I think love can continue to grow and go where it needs to. And in your current assignments and relationships, look and see what you're being triggered in a relationship, and look and see what you're learning, and then know that once you can see through that, then you can just be friends or lovers or connections with these people, and you no longer have to work the lesson. So talk it out, and you can get through this. And then when you think to yourself, why did I have this mother, this brother, this aunt, this uncle, this neighbor? It's because they helped you move through something. Everybody, even the challenging ones in our lives, has a purpose, okay? I'll talk about the soul contracts next. It's a good question. So thank you for that. Let me get through this and then we'll talk about the soul contracts. Okay, the moon. So again, this is just the sort of like imagining that there's a chorus of souls coming through from your ancestral guides. Here's what I'm getting. Don't be afraid to talk about things. So the moon in reverse, accountability, fears, anger, frustration, the lower emotions coming through to the surface. Let's air out the dirty laundry. Let's talk about things now. They want you to be honest and also make sure that you're treated with honesty and integrity. So the reversal of this can show that in the past, there might have been people in your life that entered into your sort of energy and weren't the best versions of themselves. If that's the case, so be it. I think the important thing here is you don't have to put up with it anymore. Call it out, lead by example, and if you deserve or want better, then you can ask for that, okay? So really calling it out. I'm getting the honesty vibe with the moon more than anything. So it's time to lead with honesty, to be honest, to expect the same from others. 7 of Cups. So much going on. Reach for the stars. What I do like about this illustration is this person is saying, I have a wish and I'm not afraid to express it. So I don't remember who I was listening to. There was a TikTok, and I don't think that this is like unique to the one person, but I've said this before. So like when we make a wish on our cake, this is my example, like a birthday cake, people are like, don't tell anyone your wish, keep it secret. Baloney. Say your wish out loud. The TikTok that I heard was about someone saying, don't get your hopes up. Get your hopes up. Hope is a very important thing in life. It's about the other side of it when hope doesn't always end up coming through. It's sort of like, but I'm not going to give up on hope. So I think actually it was a meditation that I was attending the other day. So anyway, hope is powerful and so are wishes. And both of these are kind of like two fonts of the same sort of general message. Speak your wishes at least to your spirit guides, your higher self, and to the universe, but also speak them to the people around you. Like I said, in career, I am ready for this. I would like this. I hope we can make this happen. You just use hope and wishes and you said them out loud. If you sit in the corner and try to wish it and send it to them psychically, that isn't going to do much. You're just going to get a migraine. Say it, speak it, do it, okay? And that is the power of this. And that is why it's coming through Gabriel, because he and the ancestors are saying a wish and an idea and a hope don't stand for much if you're not speaking it, doing it, exploring it. It has to go beyond the wishing phase, the hoping phase. Get it in writing. Protect your intellectual property. If there's something that you came up with, copyrights, trademarks, things of that nature, work with a lawyer. Lawyers keep coming through in this reading. Justice is a lawyer. She came through explicitly here, but also we saw her scales in the previous one. I put it to the side so we didn't re-pull it. So multiple times we're getting her. She's like, if you didn't get the hint here, I'm coming through loud and clear here. I need this, I want this, I stand for this, this isn't enough, whatever it is that you need to articulate. Also, balancing out relationships, finding balance in your life, work, life, fun, money, all of that needs to be balanced out, okay? People can help you, people can hinder you. See what the relationship assignment is, and then decide if you are done with the assignment. Because sometimes people enter and exit our lives when we have completed an assignment. So don't feel bad if someone's ghosting you. Think to yourself, oh, maybe the assignment's done. Or maybe they don't want to continue the assignment. Maybe they're dropping out. I don't need to hunt them down. I showed up. If they don't show up, so be it. I got other things to focus on. I have other classes. Class is still in session. Okay? Powerful stuff. The question was around contracts. So let me look at this. I think it was, how do we release the contracts? Yeah, release the old soul contracts when we're done with them. So one way that you can release them is simply by dismissing them. I mean, we don't do this often enough, but you could just close your eyes. We can do it here in real time. You can think of the person that you need to release it with. Imagine that there's a circle of light around your body, and with love and with light, see them on the other side of that circle. Say to yourself with gratitude, I see you, I learned from you, and I no longer need to exchange energy and explore this contract anymore. We are done. This is dismissed with love and light. Imagine, if you will, like justice, you are choosing to cut the cord in front of you. You are balanced, you are fair, but you are clear. You can imagine Michael, who's still standing in the periphery for all of us, can come through and cut the cord for you. Cutting cords is not harmful. It is a clearing and supportive energy that you can do. Cutting a cord will not inhibit you from creating new or better cords with someone. We're not going to do anything in the heart space. We're doing like solar plexus, all the other the heart is always open, but all of the other unnecessary cords. Imagine, if you will, that there's this beam of brilliant light from source, so bright, so strong, so fiery hot that it can cut through those cords and clear both ends. And the light then goes between the two of you and seals off the connection. And then you can bless yourself and bless the other party and just release them. That's it. Just, I'm done. I'm done with this. It's done now. You don't have to do anything magical. You don't have to create a spell. All you have to say is thank you and goodbye. Or I release this connection. I release this cord. I release this pattern. I release it. Your words are the spell. I release it. I am clear. I am free. I am clean. You have to believe it, but if you believe it, it's done. You don't have to pay anybody any money to do that. You can do it with your own words and your own belief. Practical magic. Okay. Is there a message from someone recently departed or not so recently departed that you love? The deepest connection in your life that is no longer in the flesh. Stop it. Okay. So, Five of Pentacles in the reverse position. We're going to start with that even though it's in the future state. This is about not boxing you in. And it's saying, although many of the people that you're thinking of are honored that there is still sadness or remembrance or even just pain, they don't want you to permanently be in that state. So there's permission to love again, to connect again, to have fun, because life continues. One of my favorite feel-good movies is Steel Magnolias. It's been out for a while. I'm going to talk a little bit about plot, so if you don't want to hear it, turn it down. But one of the themes in it is around death. I won't tell you which character dies, but there's a character that dies. And towards the very end of the movie, there's a cyclical energy that comes through where that character's name is used for a baby. And one of the other characters says, "Is it okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's kind of the way it's meant to be. It's all cyclical." So you're supposed to experience, and that was kind of cool that there's a baby after there's someone that dies, because we see it's just a big cycle. So I think we have to kind of look at life as that. It's a continuation. And they are looking at you from spirit, cheering you on. They don't want you to be caged in, like this card is showing. Let your cup runneth over. Love and live in their honor and in their spirit. Love and live every day. And yes, you can still remember them, but not at the expense of living your life. Okay? I didn't spoil any plot points. I didn't say any characters. You can still watch it with enjoyment. Okay, 10 of Pentacles in the reverse position, right here and right now. I'm doing it kind of backwards, but Spirit wants me to do that. For some of you, particularly if it was a parent or a mentor, you don't have, like, there's pressure to live up to their expectations. And one thing that there's an acknowledgement of on the other side is maybe some of those expectations were too lofty, unfair, or were projections of their own insecurities, wishes and desires, etc. So live your own life, live your best life. And if you were married and wonder, can I get married again? Yes. Look at what's at the base of this. This is also chosen family. Family is beyond blood. So you can start to, like, that's what I have in my current version of life is I still have some relatives. They're great, but like the immediate ones are gone. Parents are gone. I don't have siblings. And so I've started to develop other relationships that fill out some of those gaps. Don't replace them, but they fill it out in different ways. And there's a different level of completeness that comes from that. And sometimes it's your in-laws, sometimes it's your friends of friends, sometimes it's your best friends, but create some balance by having better chosen family in this moment in time as well. There's more than life than work. Your person on the other side is saying, please, less work, more fun, more joy, more connection. You don't get to take the money with you. Who cares? You don't get to take the accomplishments with you. Not those accomplishments, not like title, pay. It's nonsense. You do take, and I've said this many times, love and wisdom. I heard Whoopi Goldberg talk about one of her favorite lines from Ghosts, and it was that scene with Patrick towards the end, where he's talking to Demi and he's saying, that part kind of gets me sad, but he's like, it all comes with you. Like, you remember the love. It's the reason that when you meet a best friend in this lifetime, sometimes you know in the first meeting, you're like, I need to know that person. Or if you meet your future partner, it's like, I'm going to marry that person. Because the love is so strong that it transcends lifetimes and reincarnations. And the minute you see the soul, you see beyond this, you're like, I know that person. So you may be on the precipice of meeting a new partner like that. And it can be a platonic friend that maybe you did marry in a past lifetime. Now you just want to be besties, or it can be a future partner. So your person on the other side is saying that love will come through again in a different form. Not me, but maybe something like me or something better than me. Who knows? There's a strong love that wants to come through. I can feel it as I'm channeling. And I almost wanted to cry for a moment because there's so much love that they're bringing through, and there's so much love that's still waiting for you. Breathe. Okay. It's really important to find your balance right now. I mentioned that I'm prioritizing health. Like last night, I spent a good hour doing exercising, stretching, and meditating before I went to bed. That's a new thing for me. Because I really need to kind of, and I don't sit as much anymore, and I'm trying to move more. So take care of yourself that way. More exercise, balanced sort of care of your body, all of that, right? And listen to that contract release that I talked about. There may be some clearing and cleaning that you can do with the person that's passed. Say, I love you. Say, I'm sorry, and then release them. Not like that they're going to be gone, but like release them to just sort of be free on the other side. So this April, it was the beginning of the month, but it marked 4 years since my mother's passed. But I remember maybe it was a year and a half into her transition into spirit, she came to me and said, okay, I'm going to have to start seeing you less. I have things to do. Her soul was elevating and moving to the next level. And that was, as a medium, I like to kind of keep talking to my family, but I was like, no, that's good for her. I'm happy she's happy. And so she still comes through, but far less. Not because she doesn't love me, but because she's happy. And it allows me as a soul to progress without training wheels, right? So it was the right thing for both of us. So she was gently cutting the cord and saying, I'll still be here, but you're going to be fine. She comes through when I need to do things. And she's like, you need to fix that. Or you're going to you got to do this on your own, but no longer is it sort of like an everyday affair. So she cut the cord a little bit there, which was good. So you can cut the cord, they can cut the cord. They're still there. She just had to ascend. And that's what I want for her. One day I'll be there too, and I'm in no rush to get there, but I'll want the same ability to be free and to elevate, you know? So there you go. Final message from Gabriel around communication. A little on the nose because we're talking about all of this. Gabriel ended up being the messenger from Spirit today. So thank you, Gabriel, for playing an extra role. But okay, so with respect to communication, how does this play a role? Okay, I like this. Make more time. So this card was reversed. I like that they took a common phrase like spilling the tea and put it in here. But make time for community, which we talked about. But now Gabriel is being cautious. You don't have to share everything with everyone. Know your audience and make sure that you know what their motives are as well. When it comes to your money and your abundance, advocate for more. This is another card of balance. So in the traditional Six of Pentacles, we have someone, I mean, any more scales and they're going to slap us in the face. But we have someone holding the scales and they're saying that it's okay. So Gabriel's reminding you that it's okay to say no. And it's okay to ask for more. And it's okay to save some for yourself. Here's your traditional Six of Pentacles. Third time in 2 archangels that we've gotten a scale. We keep getting justice. We keep getting the scales. They keep coming through. So balance. Have enough for yourself. Can't help everybody. You have to make choices. Don't share everything with everyone. Be smart about it. Good choices create amazing outcomes. Beautiful messages from Gabriel. Thank you, Gabriel, for being present in one of the more difficult parts of the reading today. We honor and appreciate you. Okay, we're going to welcome in the next archangel. I have to go back to my graphic to see what was next. Raphael. Okay, Raphael is really good for healing. So let's take a look at what needs to be healed. I'm going to go choose another deck. While I'm doing that, like and subscribe if you enjoy this. And if you want to give back, you can do that. I just remembered. I want to use that deck. For after that. Okay. Okay, so healing is such a powerful thing and it never gets chosen, or not never, but like very rarely for those that watch. So we want to ask Archangel Raphael, first of all, we'll welcome the angel in. So with love and with light, we welcome in Archangel Raphael, opening up our hearts to receive messages of healing. Raphael, you can be as blunt or as kind or as direct as you need to be. What do we need to know? Show us what needs to be healed first. Then I'll look at some specific areas of healing too. Okay, and let's get an oracle card with this. Yes, exclamation point. Yes. Okay. So the reason that this is so amazing is because you never know what's possible when it comes to healing. So the heart can heal in unexpected ways. The body, the mind. So I've had relatives in my life that have had strokes. It's amazing how much the mind can compensate after a brain injury. I've been through some stuff with my hearing, which now I know was caused by the mold. But anyway, I had that massive infection that required prednisone for like 3 or 4 weeks, and it took me 7 months to recover, and I'm finally getting rid of all the bloating and stuff from that. Like it's a hard drug to be on, but one thing that I held in my mind's eye was that my body would completely heal from that, because I didn't come to this planet to experience that. I caught it early enough, and I believed that part of the reason that I had that particular ailment was to reconnect with my healing energy. So I said, okay, I'll accept this lesson, but there's not going to be permanent damage. We're going to work on this, and I'm going to fully rebound. Because in my heart, I felt it. I'm like, this won't be permanent. This is going to be very difficult, more than I imagined, but it doesn't have to be permanent. I didn't think it was going to be 7 or 8 months, but it was. But I kept holding out for the light at the end of the tunnel. So complete hearing returned. Eustachian tube is 99.99999% better. And but I've also made a lot of life changes as well to help my mind, body, and spirit. And I've had people in my life sometimes that don't have faith for certain levels of recovery. And I'm like, I'm going to create some distance between me and that person, because I need to hold space for what's possible. I believe in a blend. Let's get this part straight. I believe in a blend of Eastern and Western, not for a replacement. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not advocating for not going to the doctor. I just mentioned I had to go to 3 or 4 ENTs. I was on prednisone, but I worked to heal the negative. It's like if you have cancer and you're on chemo, you have to like really lean into detox after that, because you do what's necessary to get rid of it, but then you have to then do the cleanup and the mop up. So I work spiritually and then also medically if I need to. And so I made way for a miracle. You can too. If you feel heartbroken, let me tell you this, please change the adjective rather. Your heart isn't broken, it's healing. What if we were to rephrase it as I'm heart healing instead of I'm heartbroken? Because then you're holding capacity for your heart to rebound. And we don't want the energy to settle in the heart. We don't want you to have a heart attack, a stroke, blood. Forget it. I'm heart healing. I'm rebounding. I'm overcoming. These are better words to use. Choose your adjectives, adverbs, and verbs carefully, because they create your truth. My heart will heal. I will love again. My body will heal beyond my expectations. I'm going to surprise myself and the doctors to the degree to which I will heal. These are the kinds of things that you want to say. Who knows what's possible? Spirit, higher self. But I believe in miracles when it comes to healing. Not in a woo-woo way, but like actually legitimately in my own life experiences. Things can be better than you think. Usually we go to 9 of Swords when we need to be leaning into 9 of Cups. Positivity absolutely affects your endorphins, your stress sort of reaction. And I had a friend whose mom went through cancer, and one of the things that she would envision is like the little white cells fighting, and like you have to kind of imagine that your body is your warrior, and it's going to fight back and fight to the best of its capacity, because we don't understand the brain and chemical connections. So like give yourself the leg up in believing that that part is working, and then you lean into whatever else as necessary. So whether it's your heart, your head, your body, it's healing, rebounding, moving in a better direction. But it can hurt. We're not denying the hurt, but we're not giving hurt the center stage. It's a supporting actor. You're on a redemption or a healing arc. That is just an antagonist. It's not the protagonist. Protagonist is the hero of your story. So you are the hero. The miracle is the sort of like climax. And whatever's going on around you is just the ascending action that's building up to that miraculous, cinematic moment. That's how I like to view challenges. You don't know what's on the other side of that door either. It could be so much better, right? I was asking about what needed to be healed. I was like, what was I talking about? Oh, okay. Inner saboteur. That's the voice that says, it's never going to happen. It's not going to work. You're never going to do this. We're dismissing that character. It's the antagonist. So what you can do is to transmute it. And I've talked a lot about that. When someone or your own sort of like program comes through and says, this won't work, or it's going to go badly or poorly or whatever, just say, what if it doesn't? And how can I ensure that it won't? Just question it. That's the journalist in me. Why? You never want to ask a yes or no. You always want to ask why, how, like even when isn't as good. You want to go for the deeper ones where it requires more thinking, because that will push back on the Five of Swords reversed, okay? What if it's better than you think? What if you're not looking at it from this perspective? What if I try that? What if? That's something this year in particular that I've leaned into. What if I can have a better outcome than you think? Make time to treat yourself better. Parks and Recreation, treat yourself. I think it was that show. So yes, treat yourself, but not in that sort of, every day is a treat yourself moment. Treat yourself to some meditation. Create some space in your life for nourishment, like eating well, sleeping well, and doing something that feeds the mind, body, and spirit. So cherish yourself. Yes, treat yourself. Nourish yourself. Support yourself. Love yourself. Page of Pentacles takes some of the external and brings it within, because sometimes it's exhausted. It's like a battery on 10% with a little red icon. Better recharge. Recharge. Just like we said at the beginning, things are better than you imagine them to be. This is what you see, but this is what we see. This is what Spirit sees. She's fine, but she doesn't believe that she's fine. If she believes that she's fine, that can go away. Believing is seeing, and believing manifests. Believe it will work. When I quit my last job, I had a meditation, like I meditated before I quit. It was probably too effective, because when I was ready to give notice and I finally got around to talking to my boss, the first thing that they said is, "You're going to quit, aren't you?" I knew that the person was intuitive, so it made the whole conversation easy. And I was like, yes, or yes, but, and it was fine. And everything had worked out, because on a karmic level, I sat down and I thought to myself, please receive the information that I'm about to give you as a blessing. I'm ready to move on, and it isn't because of loyalty or anything else. This is what I need. Please don't give me a hard time. I release you. I appreciate you. I am done with this. And I'm doing so on a clean slate with no sense of negativity. I really focused on it. And the minute the phone call started, they knew. So meditation does work. And your clarity and your projection of the potential reality opens doors. It can be easier than you think. That's the message. It was a powerful message from Raphael, actually. Super powerful. All right. If there's one thing that you need help healing, go ahead and, with love, light, and appreciation, ask Raphael, and we'll look at how you can heal it. For the person talking about the mold, it's beyond that, my friend. They have to pull up wood. They have to pull out plaster. My furniture may be destroyed. There comes a point where copper's not enough or dehumidifier is not enough. Mold is insidious, and I hear what you're saying, but no, it's done. I just will choose drier environments and have a dehumidifier everywhere I go moving forward. Mold is everywhere, but like how things are maintained can affect if it becomes bigger. Anyway, we're not talking about mold now. Okay, moving onward. What is it that you need to heal? Sorry about the distraction. Put the message out there to Raphael, please. My aura is magnetic to golden opportunities. Okay, Raphael's a real optimist today, which is great. Thank you, Raphael. Okay, whatever it is that you're trying to do, one of the things that came through, I mentioned it, meditation. Queen of Cups here is rising above the emotional challenges in her life. She is aware of them. She's tapped into her emotions, but she's not beholden to the emotions either. Queen of Cups is doing something passionate, like an activity. We've talked about this, artistic, creative, fun, joyful. That also helps affect general mood. She's making room for love in her life as well. Drink water. Like, hello, she's the queen of water. If you can be near water, that could be helpful. A beach, a lake, whatever. Even just taking a nice Epsom salt bath. She's also mentioning like hearts, like focusing on the heart center. So doing things that are good both spiritually but also physically for the heart, like exercise. I mentioned that as well. Watch your fish consumption. I'm looking at her little necklace there. Not too much, not too little. Is there anything else? Oh, it's about getting your head above water. So remember the 10 of Wands that I talked about earlier? For some of you, it's about putting some of the things off of your plate so that you're not feeling like you're drowning. And if you do feel like you're drowning, ask for help. And this is just a continuation of what we talked about. My aura is magnetic to golden opportunities. When you start to work on clearing and cleaning yourself and looking at that door that we talked about here, making room for miracles, then you draw them in. So I can see it, therefore I'm attracting it. I believe it, therefore it's happening. And you have all of these little sort of rainbows and golden pentacles flying towards you. So believe that it's going to be better today, tomorrow, and the day after that. Whatever you're going through today, it's okay to feel, but you don't have to keep feeling it each and every day of your life, okay? So let's move to the final archangel. And I may expand just one of the categories just for time today, since we have time, since you guys pulled that open. So I might just do resources and pull it fully open. Okay, so the final one was, who's the final one that I invited in? Hold on a second. Okay, so it's Uriel. Uriel is a very interesting archangel. I believe it has to do with like the light of God. But what I want to see on Uriel, in my own connection to Uriel, they are very honest and very nurturing. They can often help with healing familial things. Let me just grab this deck over here. Uriel, if you need to give us some tough love for our betterment, we welcome you in now with love, with light, with compassion. Thank you for being present. And again, thank you, Raphael, for your help and assistance. I'll let you go now, but welcoming in Archangel Uriel. Again, love, light, and gratitude, whatever message you need to bring forth for the collective good. I invite you to do so, and I appreciate you taking time to do so. Someone asked about the deck. It's Kyle Gray. Literally raise your vibration. Kyle does some great angel decks, so I'm still using one. He has another one called like Archangels, 22 Archangels or something. But this was perfect for this because I was like, we need something with the angels. Okay. So, Uriel once told me, this is an angel with whom sometimes it's like clairaudient. I will hear it either in my ear or in my mind, like directly. Uriel once told me you could say thank you more. Have you noticed between each archangel I say thank you for coming and thank you for all that you've done? Gratitude is important. And Archangel Uriel said that not to sort of like punish me, but to open me up to, like, if I'm grateful, if my heart opens and I can receive more, they can communicate more effectively. It also is a nice exchange. Love is the currency of particularly the angelic realm. So love and gratitude. So when you, with love and gratitude, invite, that's how you invite in the archangels. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time and energy. Whatever you bring forth, I will listen to it and we'll see what comes through. But like, just welcome them in. But in your life in general, I am grateful. Can you find gratitude for the adversaries in your life, for the former quote unquote enemies, for the antagonists? Because they too came through to awaken and, not the word ignite, but to activate. They came through to activate you. So many of you are on the heels of an activation, and it might have come through the energy of someone who mattered in your life that maybe disappointed you and ended up playing the role of an adversary or an enemy or whatever. So one thing that you can do is to recast them as an activator. Thank you for activating my voice. Thank you for activating my self-worth. Thank you for activating the need for me to find better boundaries in my life. Lesson learned, assignment complete, relationship released. You played your role. I don't judge you, but I don't need you anymore. And if you can do that, you'll see that they were just a teacher. Some of the teachers, we forget their names because we don't care about them. Some we remember. This is someone that you can just release. It was just a teacher. I'm grateful that you're gone. However you want to say it. I'm grateful for the lesson. I'm more grateful that you're gone. And I'm even extremely more grateful that I never have to see you again. One thing that I did for a couple of my teachers in this lifetime was just release them in all timelines. Like, I've not only learned everything, but I don't require your presence anymore. In this lifetime, in any other lifetime, in all dimensions, past, present, future, and unknown, I release you with gratitude and no attitude. Thank you, goodbye, now and forever. You can do that if you want, and that can help you not hold on to any sort of anger, because it's like, we're good. If it needs to come through, it'll come through in a different form, not you, because I don't like your teaching style, but I appreciate it at this lifetime. Thank you and goodbye. So you can be grateful even for the pain. You can also be grateful for the joy. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your love. Thanks for listening. Thanks. Okay, the earth element comes through here as well. Find a way to get grounded. Walks are great. Sitting at a bench outside with your feet on the ground, great, especially if you have limited mobility. Planting flowers on your patio is fine. Get your hands on the earth or get your feet on the earth somehow. Or working with the earth element. In your diet, put some earth vegetables, things like a beet or a carrot or a potato. I think even, and this is why people have allergies to them, I think even peanuts grow beneath the ground, and that's why they sometimes have mold in them, and that's why people can be allergic to them. But anything that your body doesn't have a problem with that's in the earth, that will help ground your energy a little bit too. Just a little bit of practical magic there. Gratitude changes your attitude. Attitude opens up abundance. Okay. This is I don't even know if we need to go into health, wealth, love, and destiny because I feel like we're covering everything. So I might do something different today. I know people want that, but I'll probably put that elsewhere. I'm just going to go where I'm guided. One thing that I think that's important, I've been doing this a long time. I don't think we just need to be rigid in how we approach it, because if you're rigid, you're missing things. Sometimes, there's Apollo. He just hopped up on the chair in the background. Sometimes spirit just wants us to kind of like allow things to flow through. So I would ask people that get upset in the comments to just be flexible, because spirit comes through in more than one way. And if you're just too regimented, it doesn't always work. The more I practice, the less I want to be constrained by a formula. And so I'm doing whatever I'm called to do, which I think is more authentic and more connected to spirit. Okay. Just me on the pulpit for a second. Because I think we cover all the categories as I'm doing these different forms of reading. Everything that I would have covered in a Celtic cross with health, wealth, love, and destiny has been covered by talking to 4 archangels. Anyway, just me. Getting back to the point, and I do have one. Okay, so King of Cups. Uriel, what do you want us to see with this? First of all, it's okay and it's time to focus a little bit more on love, relationships, happiness, and joy. It feels like a common theme of this reading, right? I also think it's important to get a bird's eye view because I'm working with a deck that is featuring a bird here. take a few steps back from your life and see what the bigger pattern is right now. Because if you keep rinsing and repeating, then it is just reruns. We want more than reruns, right? Some of you are on the precipice of love. I felt it. I felt it when I was talking to the ancestors, and when we were talking about, not just the ancestors, but the person that you lost. They're like, a greater love is coming through. So if you're open, this is either you opening up to it and taking a step closer to it, or maybe it comes through quicker. What if love comes knocking, right? What do you need to do right now? A little bit of healing. I feel like you're going through one final message. Now, this particular deck does call out jealousy. There could be someone around you that triggers that emotion in you or that feeling. There could be someone that is jealous of you. Jealousy is just a myopic or warped version of love. It's you seeing something that you admire, or someone seeing something that they admire in you, but instead of working on creating that within yourself, it's like, I want it and I don't have it and I'm angry. Why can't I have it? You can. Get inspired, not jealous. That's kind of when I see jealous, it's like, oh, they did it. How did they do it? Maybe I'll get informed. I'm going to do like 10 other things, but besides be jealous. I'm going to research. I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to think about what I want. I'm going to ask myself why I haven't done it. I'm going to get accountable. Jealousy is just a trigger. It's not the end state. And it's okay to feel it. It's human. But you don't have to stay in it. You can just say, thanks, jealousy. What if I can do this? What if I can do something even beyond this? I'm going to get inspired. I'm going to get informed. I'm going to get educated. I'm going to get busy. Do all of that stuff except jealousy. Three of Swords, of course, is disappointment, frustration, a final setback before you get set to or wake up to your final kind of like I was saying, there's this like climactic moment that's going to happen where something great is on the horizon, okay? Awakening energy, activation energy with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, because I look at this and she reminds me of a bear coming out of hibernation. It takes a while. Like when you wake up in the morning, have you ever noticed that you can't talk? If you've ever had to answer the phone, it's like, hello. Your voice is dry. I need to do eye drops as you get older. Like you have to like fully wake up the body and brush your teeth, throw some water on your face so you don't scare people. And then about 10 or 15 minutes, you're like, okay, now I can talk. Now I'm here. So I feel like in the same way that you have the morning ritual of awakening, if there's something new in your life that's happening, give it time. Give it some time to awaken. And practice makes perfect. This is another reason, actually, that I'm doing more of the mediumship for the dailies. First of all, it takes me less time. I can just tune in and I'm like, here's the message. To me, that alone is telling me it's a clearer channel. But also, I want to do more with mediumship. So practice makes perfect. So practice whatever it is that you want to do. Whether it's learning another language. I've also noticed that I was talking to my friend because I was supposed to move to Spain like a year ago or whatever, but I've kept up with it. I've studied it every day. And I said to my friend who lives in Spain, I said, here's the weird thing. Like when I was in school, God, I couldn't like get my head around some of these things, all the conjugations. And I said, it's kind of easy now. He said, well, it's also because you're not taking 7 other classes. You're just studying this and you've done it every day for a year. So yes, you're going to learn things. You're going to get sentence structures. It's going to sit in. It's not going to be as overwhelming. And I want to do that with some other languages too. But that's how you learn. It's not going to be overnight. Same thing with tarot. There hasn't been a day probably in 11 years that I haven't picked up a card. So it's ingrained. I could sit here and name every card and describe everything that's on them. I know them inside and out, but that took about 15 years of constant use. So practice. Practice doesn't make perfect, but it makes mastery. It's the 3 of Pentacles. So she's awakening, this bear here, and she's going to keep waking up and keep practicing. And every day you get closer and closer to that mastery. Okay? Try not to go on the defensive. There might be something in your life where you feel like you have to defend your point of view. I'm at a point now where I'm like, you can think whatever you want. I can't change that. I don't need to necessarily. I'm going to fight for what's important, but I don't need to get into I don't have to win every argument or get everyone's approval or whatever. Like, there's just certain things that it's not worth your time. Focus your energy, time management, energy management. That's really what's coming through here. Focus on what matters most to you. Okay? That was some powerful stuff. Okay, so Uriel, one other thing that we can look at is the ability to, how can we find our light again? For those of us that have been through a challenging situation. So reclaiming positivity, light, insight, again, after a period where there might have been some darkness. Help us find the light at the end of the tunnel. Couple of really cool things here. First of all, this is an unusual 9 of Cups. Literally, she's taking time to smell the flowers. You can see her smelling the flowers. So even though that's not a traditional sort of like interpretation of the 9 of Cups, it is on some level, because smelling the flowers can help you connect to what? Gratitude. And you can be grateful for life's little successes, and you can celebrate them. And the 9 of Cups is a celebration card. So if I work hard enough, I can find a connection there. But it's also just saying, maybe some of you derive joy from nature or doing something you love. That's more what I'm getting here. She's like having fun just by like connecting to things. Whatever makes you happy today, that is how you reconnect to your light, to your power. And it is the card of dreams and dream fulfillment. So make a wish, keep your hopes up, and hold space for those dreams to manifest, that light at the end of the tunnel, because it does exist. But you have to keep thinking that I can get there, right? So I see this as wish and dream fulfillment, the power of positivity. Yes, taking time to smell the flowers, but more specifically, taking time to do things that you love, because that opens up your heart, and love is an attractive force. And when you love yourself, your self-worth goes up. When your self-worth goes up, your net worth goes up. And then you're rich in many levels. Love and accept yourself. This is probably the hardest thing. And this is what the 3 of Swords was about a little bit earlier. I love, because like that 8 of Swords where she was looking at the mirror, we are so trained in today's culture to compare ourselves to unrealistic ideals of beauty, success, money, power, whatever. It's all artifice. Like, there's so much with Photoshop, AI, and it's also like stuff on social media is highly cultivated, and there's a better word for it, but it's like, it's not all real. It's something that people have kind of like created. So just love yourself exactly where you're at, because your body, your mind, your energy has brought you to this point. And it's going to be here until you're ready to step into energy again. So we have to love our body. Say thanks to yourself. Thank you, body, physical vessel, for holding me here, holding space for me. Literally, that's what our body does. For all of this time, I love and accept myself exactly as I am. If I want to make changes, I do so lovingly. And I know that I will get through this. I was listening to an old song from early 2000s. I got to get through this. I put it as like on one of my reels on Instagram, but like, you will get through this, whatever it is that you're focusing on. Okay, we did meet the goal. So I'm not going to, like, we're at time for the most part. So I'm going to just pull a card, because I said I was going to do it around wealth. That's what I'm called to do, because I feel like many of us are struggling for abundance in our life. So we're going to look at wealth, but I'm just going to pull an oracle, and a tarot card and say, how can you be your wealthiest and most successful in any stage of life without breaking it into 5 categories? And apologies to people that don't want me to do this special form of reading. But sorry, not sorry, to quote Demi, not Demi, but Demi Lovato, because this is what needed to come through today. All right. Wow. So this card was reversed, and some of you may be trying to hold back on how you feel. Or someone in your life may just say, don't be so sensitive. Your ability to be sensitive, to be tapped in, is exactly what can make you powerful, successful, happy, and it's a gift. That means, however, that you're not going to have the same ability to put up with things that other people would. So some environments may feel more toxic to you. Different school, work, volunteer activities, etc., because you're like, that bothers me. I don't think I can't do this, or I need to change this. So your sensitivity is activating you to make a change. This is also very King of Cups. A lot of times you will have the seahorse and the starfish on the King of Cups, representing the ability to heal and also the ability to embody the best of divine masculine and feminine. That's what this represents. It's like if the King and Queen of Cups were one, that's this card. So you have the ability right now to sense and see things that others can't. And that means that for some of you, you have to let go of something. So you are at now we're back to the beginning. I feel like it already was answered in my extremely in-depth channeled message at the beginning. So I feel some of you are ready to start something new. This card is alluding to that. It can be new at the present place that you're working, studying, living, volunteering, or it can be brand new. And this is about letting go of the old and surrendering to the new. And that's really the call to action. If you can't evolve, you don't grow. We wouldn't be able to be on this planet, any sort of species of animal, plant, or other life organism, if it didn't evolve. The dinosaurs would still be they couldn't evolve fast enough with everything that happened, but everything had to evolve to the changing environment. That's why we came to prominence, because the little tiny, our ancestors, I've looked at this before on nature or whatever, they were living underground, these little 4-legged things. We've come a long way, but it came through evolution. So you're at a moment now where you're pivoting and trying something new. It's scary, but it's necessary. It will allow you to continue to grow, and people will either support, or you're going to release some people and then attract some new people. It's all for the better, right? Okay. Let's meditate and wrap up this reading. It was a little longer today, but this was an intense one. I kind of knew what I was getting into when I was the 4 Archangels. We probably could have done just this as a reading, but live and learn. Okay, take a moment, please. Close your eyes. We would like to say first, thank you to all of the Archangels, but I want to close it out first with Uriel. Uriel, thank you for those final messages. Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, Raphael, thank you all for being present today. And anybody that needs to connect with you, they know how. And I just want to say thanks for being here to guide the reading. Let's, for a moment, sit in our own energy and our own bliss, because we have that as well. See yourself now glowing from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. See this beautiful orb of light around your body, because we've been working on opening you up, and you can now see your own light and potential. Sit within this space and think something positive. I'll give you a few examples. If you want to, you can say things like, I am strong, I am resilient, I am sensitive, I am perceptive, and I'm grateful for these and all the other gifts that Spirit has bestowed upon me. I'm grateful for the teachers, the activators, let's call them that instead of all the other words, the people that activate our powers, because they show us how not to be. Thank you, activators. We no longer need you. And I'm grateful for the best that's yet to come, the new love, the new opportunity, the new unexpected twists and turns in the road that are going to bring joy, surprise, and fulfillment. I'm ready, willing, and able to receive these and more abundance in the highest forms in the days and weeks yet to come. Okay. Gently open your eyes on the next exhale. If you have one last question that I haven't covered in this very in-depth reading, go ahead and ask it. Okay, here it comes again. So if it's a yes or no, yes, but you may need to lean on your own advice a little bit more. There may be someone in your life that has ulterior motives. So you might be best to do this on your own or to seek someone that doesn't have so many strings attached, especially if you're looking for a partnership. Try to not put so much focus on everyone around you, more focus on yourself. If you've been holding on to something, it's time to let it go. But you have the power. You need to have the self-confidence to move forward. Work on that this week. Believe in yourself. And now we are done. That was a lot. I'm going to take a break after this and rehydrate after this, but a very powerful reading. A great one too. If you enjoyed this, please do me a favor. It's 100% free to hit the like button, to subscribe if you've been watching for a long time but never have, and when this is later available on replay, to share it. So thank you in advance. You can also become a channel member. You can give back with a super sticker, super chat. And in advance, I'd like to say thanks. From my website, after we do this, you can also find other ways to connect with me, including follow me on social media. It's always my full name, Nicholas Ashbaugh, on all major platforms. You can give back through PayPal if you would like. You can book a private reading if you feel inclined to do so. Anyway, otherwise, I just want to say thank you for being the best part of what I do here on YouTube. We're going to take a few moments now to highlight all those that gave back today. So let's do that and see what's coming through here. So I'll do my best to kind of get through this here. Okay, to the following people, I just want to offer some gratitude. Everybody, thank you for showing up. Special thanks to the following. The Healing Art, thank you for rejoining as a channel member. Same thing to Circe Vogel, thank you very much. And Walk, always good to see you here. Thank you for, I know there's been multiple stickers today, but thank you for the stickers and membership. Jamie McCormick, good to see you as always. Thanks for being a member, for your sticker as well. IVL93, thanks for being a brand new member. I can see it with the icon, and also for your sticker. Jamie Pell, thank you so much for your sticker and membership. Celebrating a 7th-month anniversary here, we have Ms. Sparkle. Really glad that you enjoyed today, and thanks for your kind words. Sam Murphy, good to see you again. Thank you for your sticker and for being a member. Thank you so much, Kathy, for your sticker. Much appreciated. LA, and I can't see the rest of it. I just want to say thank you so much. Glad you enjoyed the daily message as well. And thank you for being a member too. And Walk, thank you again. Let's see, MPS Lehman, thank you for the virtual cup of coffee there. Shelly, thanks for the sticker and membership. A different spelling of Shelly, 1108, thank you for your sticker and for being a longtime member. Much appreciated. Handa Angul, thank you so much. Taksamika, 2 stickers in a row, much appreciation. Jean, thank you so much for contributing, for your membership, and also for being for your sticker as well, and always showing up every weekend. Denise, thank you for the sticker and membership. S. Lynn, thank you for your sticker. I appreciate it, and also the membership. Georgia, thanks for your sticker and membership. Amitabha, good to see you. I know you've been here a long time. Thank you for your sticker and membership. And yes, Jean, thank you for the Justice sticker. It definitely came up many times. And Walk, thank you again. Eslin, thank you again. I think you gave earlier, but thanks for the sticker and membership. Shelly Williams, thank you again for the sticker and membership. Carol, thank you so much for your sticker. Shelly, thank you again. Shelly with an I. Rafaela, 32 months of membership. I'm glad that Archangel Raphael resonated for you. Definitely one. Those are 4 of my favorite archangels. We have a Rafaela coming through. Yes, thank you. I didn't notice that was your handle name too. But yes, thank you for the multiple stickers as well. Ellen D, I'm just going to say thank you so much for being a new member and for the cute hippo sticker. Rafaela, thank you again for multiple stickers. Kayla, thank you so much for the vibes, the sticker, and the membership. And Walk, thank you again. Eslin, thanks for 38 months of membership. That's amazing. Much appreciated. Thank you for being here for so long. Rafaela, thank you very much for the multiple stickers. Much appreciated. Georgia, thanks for the sticker and membership. Again, Rafaela, thank you for the multiple stickers and the membership. Rob, good to see you, buddy. Thank you very much for your kind contribution and for being with me for so long. I appreciate it. NJO, I think, and there's some more with it, but thank you so much for your kind contribution. Mel305 Miami, thank you very much for your sticker. And 19 months of membership celebrated here with Teresa Meyer. Thank you so much. And thanks to the angels too, and all of the earth angels that are all of you. All right, folks, that is it for today. I'm going to let Apollo just rest. He's back there. Wishing you much love and light in the days and weeks to come. I will be here every day with the channeled messages, and I'm thinking of a new way to do the monthlies. I will figure that out, something different. So keep an eye out for that. Change is good, folks. All right, until I see you again, be well. Bye-bye. And thank you, Dakota, for your help today as well.